let me bring in Major Manik Jolly into this conversation. And I completely agree with you that, the time spent with India today was very significant because they wanted to send across a very clear message, not just to India, but because we are watched across the world, it is speaking to the world through India today. And Major Jolly, as The Economist wrote, it's actually President Trump who's pushed India closer into the bear hug. Not that we are complaining, because this is a relationship that stood the test of time. But what they've actually done is pushed India closer both to Russia and China, and that is where the big threat for the West is. And perhaps that's why, Major Jolly, the West and especially Europe is feeling very left out.
Hi, Gaurav and Maria. Good morning. And yeah, you're very right. Actually, the kind of arm twisting that US has shown in the past few months or entire year since the time Trump took over has actually pushed the trio of the dragon, elephant, and the bear into each other's arms. And it actually started with the energy and the defense deals only. And it is just I think the turning point which US did not expect was that India standing on its own. They were not used to
Yes.
this. And this has been a US's way how it deals with deals with other countries in the world. And that is the point I want to bring in. There's a lot of conversation that happens around F-35, Su-57. Gaurav, you are an expert on that. What I want to say is that it is not just about hardware that you bring into your country. You bring in a whole legacy of controlling your foreign policy. Look at your neighbor Pakistan. They cannot even maintain their own fleet. US sends their team to check the fleet. Where did this plane go? What are you flying? Whereas Russia treats you like a true partner. Here are your jets. Do whatever you want with them. And also, our entire defense systems have been created on Russian hardware and softwares. As we develop towards Sudarshan Chakra, I think it is imperative that there is no that the integration continues to happen. If
Yes.
we buckle under pressure and go for some other, I don't think actually they'll go for F-35 ever. But Su-57 would be a great integration and a great add-on and it's a great jet. I don't want to get into the technicals, but the point remains that additional S-400s, interest on S-500s, the nuclear submarine lease, and the fighter jet continue to be the biggest defense deal that we should be making. And it is not just about the
The
hardware.
focus still remains on trade and economy. Defense
Yes.
is very strong. Strategy is very strong. Now to make it to bring this relationship on an even keel, the effort, apart from shipbuilding, if I may, shipbuilding, Maria, is something that India was always big on. The Prime Minister is very clear, to be a massive seafaring nation that we always were, our shipbuilding has to be big.
And one of the key takeaways of this summit is going to be sanctions-proof payment system, which India wants with Russia for oil, gas, and nuclear using rupee and ruble, UAE's dirham, which links between Russia's SPFS and India's network. So they are looking at tightening that network as well.
And
payment
look at the
system,
UPI
sanctions
system.
proof, yes,
India's UPI system
is being followed world over.
and with Russia's Mir system, when you integrate RuPay and Mir, the moment you do that, tourists like you and I, we can travel to Russia and pay UPI.
Yes,
pay
pay
the
in
RuPay
UPI.
system. So there is no dollar being used. Shivani joins us. Give me a moment. Let's quickly bring in Shivani. Shivani, tell us all about the pomp and show and the Tri-Services Guard of Honor at the Rashtrapati Bhavan in about 40 minutes from now.
Gaurav, I'm right outside the Rashtrapati Bhavan where the formal beginning of the engagement between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Putin will start. And we'll try and catch a glimpse of what has been done here as the preparation. The flags of India and Russian Federation are fluttering high. It's a beautiful winter morning with the added warmth and flavor of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Putin's friendship. And when we talk about this Tri-Services Guard of Honor, this happens to be the highest ceremonial welcome, the ceremony that marks the honor that is being given to a state guest or a dignitary. But when it comes to President Putin, there is something extraordinary, and that's what we are seeing, the kind of carpool that started right after the welcome that Prime Minister Narendra Modi had given to President Putin, and they came in that same car. The conversations have already started. Yesterday's private dinner We saw those pictures from the 7 LKM, but today when it happened at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, it's a bit more formal with the Tri-Services Guard of Honor being given to President Putin. And this will be a function of around 25 minutes. And from here at 11:25, he'll leave for Rajghat, where he will reach at 11:30 to pay homage to Rashtrapita. And from there, he will be heading towards the Hyderabad house, where the formal engagement of the talks, the bilateral talks, will begin with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So this is indeed the start of the formal engagement with Rashtrapati Bhavan Tri-Services ceremonial welcome, Gaurav. And then there are around 7 engagements for President Putin that are lined up through the day before he leaves at 9 p.m. today.
All right, Shivani, we'll keep coming to you as the visuals come in from the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Of course, it's a bright and warm morning as the warmth of India-Russia ties will also be in full display.